Is 2024 the year that Riot finally adds skins for agents? I'm going to tell you what their public statements have been, why those aren't necessarily the case, and why I think that there's arguments for both sides of actually having skins and for not having skins. Let me know what you think in the comments, because this is going to be, just be polite, please. So as of June 2021, the lead designer, character designer at Valorant has made a statement saying that they are not looking at skins for the different agents inside Valorant. And there are a couple of arguments for this. The first one being that agents need to be identifiable, easily identifiable to the opposition who that character is. And from the get-go, the agents in Valorant weren't designed to actually have skins. If you look at it in contrast with a game like Overwatch, Overwatch's character designs the heroes that they've created are designed to have skins. They're designed with the rollout of character skins in mind. Even in Overwatch, the weapon skins are kind of intrinsically attached to the character skins. And the reason Overwatch gets away with this is because it's using a rule that Disney and big animation studios use, that if you see the silhouette of a character, you should be able to identify it. So if you see the silhouette of Mickey Mouse, for instance, you will know that that is Mickey Mouse without having to see what the skins look like. But if it's a real life person, if you see a silhouette of that person, it might be a little bit harder. Maybe take a game like God of War. Although I think that the Valorant agents have very identifiable silhouettes, I don't think that they are identifiable enough right now to have their own skins. If you do add skins, they're going to be real small touches, like maybe a little bit of color spotting over here and over there. The reason for that is that they do have different roles. All of the agents, are either support or a duelist or whatever the case is. But the thing is, the hitboxes are identical. In Overwatch, if you're a tank, there's a remarkable difference in the way that you play that character and where the hitbox is. So you can be a little bit more creative. A game that does do that, obviously, is Call of Duty. The hitboxes are the same, but it's not necessarily important to know who the person you're shooting is, and it's not really important to know what their role is. Call of Duty has dabbled with this in the past. They've had games where you are role-based, but for the most part, you don't really have a role in Call of Duty. Everybody is pretty much on even foot. Riot kind of skirt the balance here between having heroes with identifiable differences in the way they play, and ones where if you take out a support, it will change the landscape of the battle for the rest of that match or the rest of that round. So it's important to know who you're shooting. So the only thing that they've got right now is the skin that identifies who that player is. So I think that actually puts them in a little bit of a catch-22. I think they actually do really want to add skins, and I'm sure investors are going yeah, we want to make some money. And this is the perfect way to do it. It's the most logical way. They want to have skins for everything. And yes, they do charge a lot for gun skins, but it's the only skins that you really get in the game. It's just weapon skins. But imagine, because they are a company, that there was a way that they would be prepared to sell you and include in battle passes physical skins, and it would make the company money, right? That's a rational thing, and that's a rational reason to push skins, or at least move in that direction. But there's a couple of things that they're going to have to do in order to do this properly. They might have to lean into the fact that there are different roles and make those roles remarkably different. So if you're a support, you're a lot squishier. If you are a duelist, you're kind of somewhere in between. And your shape of those characters are going to have to change according to the different roles they have, and obviously the hitboxes are going to have to change. That's a massive change compared to the whole current landscape of the game right now. And they might have to do what Overwatch had to do, is just release Overwatch 2, which fundamentally is the same game, but they did do huge changes for players who've been playing for a very long time. Notably, they had a 6v6 lineup, and they moved to a 5v5, one tank instead of two tanks, which rocked the entire space. And arguably, a lot of people are saying that killed Overwatch. I don't think that particularly killed Overwatch. I think the gameplay mechanics are actually really cool. I think what's slowing Overwatch's growth right now is the fact that the game is kind of feeling stagnant. They need to do something drastically different in order to keep people playing. So leaning into the different roles, changing the shape of the characters so that they are more silhouette-y, and then having very fundamental differences in hitboxes that have to be redesigned accordingly. That would change the game quite a lot. So I'm not sure they would do that. The other way, and I think it's probably the most realistic way that they're actually going to do this, is to have skins in public modes, but maybe when you play comp, there's a choice to change the way that you appear in comp. This is actually something that I really wished Overwatch would have done, but they didn't. When you see a pro Overwatch match, you get to see what their togs are, right? Everybody's got like togs. So if you had a clan system or a group system, you could buy togs for your clan or for your group system, and those become like the esports outfit. So things change, like the way you see explosions. There'll be like spot colors that are different from the actual competitive, the other actual modes in the game, like the unrated modes or whatever the case is. And then your team has a unified togs. They just got to be in the same clan as you. I think that is a really cool way to incorporate skins and to make sure that competitive is done in a very smooth way. And it looks really cool, especially if you are a live streamer, a content creator, to have like your team look a certain way and have a uniform approach. And it's also a lot easier, I feel, when you are up against a team and everybody is like purple, right? Or everybody is a certain color. And then pro players know. There's enough, I feel, on the UI to identify or to know when players are taken out or what roles are still left on the field. So a lot of people, I think they will feel like this is somewhat game breaking, but I don't think it's going to be game breaking for new players. And I think it's quite easy to adapt to that. And maybe having a clan system where, you know, you're part of the clan if you buy like the monthly pass or like a small fee every month, where you can still be a member of that clan and have togs that are completely customizable, I think is a really cool way of doing it. And that should solve the problem of having competitive games where people are shouting that something is completely unfair, and then having casual games where like you can like flare or show off the characters. And also more skins give some more depth to the characters in the game, you know, and more depth and lore because they represent the character a little bit more. So I do think they're going to go that. So I honestly believe that 2024 is going to be a year where Valorant or Riot is seriously going to start thinking about adding skins to the game, and how those skins are reflected is going to be a challenge, but it's going to be a challenge that I think that they're going to be pressured to make. But also, ultimately, I think it's going to be a fun challenge. And I hope, as a result, a couple of kickbacks will be, maybe weapons will be cheaper because they know that there's going to be a lot more funds being spread around. Having to buy all of these things is going to be quite expensive, but you might not want to have weapon skins, but you do want to have like character skins and bundles where there are character skins that are there. Or maybe you can earn or buy those things for your pro outfits, your pro togs. I'm going to call it togs if you like. Anyway, that's my thoughts. What do you think? I really, really want to know what people feel about this. And I know there's going to be a lot of divisive or conflicting opinions to mine, but keep it civil, please. I think that there's a lot of rational things to be said. And just because you don't like that doesn't mean that it's not a rational move for the company to make. And I don't think it's necessarily game breaking or bad taste in your mouth. But let me know. I want to know if it's everything that you need or everything that I think it's going to be cool. Anyway, I'll see you in another video. Cheers.